Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. So we go to the 5th day for the consecration to Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament. Mary's presentation in the temple. Mary had no childhood in the ordinary sense of the word. She had no games, no childish taste, none of the inconstancy or inexperience of childhood. From her very conception, she possessed perfect knowledge of God, and she acquired merit. All her faculties were directed towards God, for he was her very life. Her body alone had the frailty and stature of childhood. As soon as she could walk alone, she asked her parents' permission to retire to the temple. She was but 3 years old when she was receiving there among the pious maidens who were consecrated to the Lord, and there she remained for 12 years. We know nothing of her life in the temple except that she lived a secluded life and that she practiced every virtue. Certainly, saintly doctors of the church, St. John Damascene, among others, assert that she preferred the company of those children who suffered, taking care of them in their illnesses, consoling them in their little troubles. If any quarrel arose, little Mary was always called to conciliate the disputants and impart to them that peace which she carried with her wherever she went. She lived a very simple life, not drawing attention to herself in any way. She was the servant of all, never losing courage, and anticipating the desires of her young companions. She was protected by angels and surrounded by heavenly spirits. The demon dared not approach her, shielded as she was by her faithful guardians. She was that enclosed garden which none but the well-beloved spouse could enter. It is in her hidden life in the temple that Mary should be our model. God had prepared her in secret, in silence, without her even suspecting the great mission that she was to fulfill. Later on, our Lord, in the same manner, prepares himself for his evangelical mission by 30 years of prayerful seclusion at Nazareth. For 3 years, he prepares his apostles and disciples for the mystery of the Eucharist, and it was on the eve of his death only that he revealed to them all its love. Silence and seclusion are the soul of great things. Our Lord hid from Satan the fact that he was the Son of God. Had the demon been positive of this, he would never have urged the Jews to put him to death. Nor was he aware that this young maiden was one day to be the Mother of God. So long as a work remains hidden, unknown to the world, it grows in security. But as soon as the devil discovers it and makes it known to the world, he inveighs against it and combats it with all his might. If the seed cast into the soil is too often disturbed, It will not grow. It must be allowed to remain hidden under the earth. So it is with us. If we wish to grow, we must hide ourselves. We must remain unknown to the world. Otherwise, the demon will raise up many contradictions, and the breath of self-love will destroy us. Our Lord has prepared us a long time. He has hedged us about with graces from our infancy in order to introduce us into the cenacle of his Eucharist. Let us thank him with, although we may not have given ourselves to him at so early an age as Mary, we are, however, still in the beginning of the Eucharistic life. The Eucharistic manifestation has only just begun, and our Lord calls us to be among the first to work for its development. Mary adored God in the temple in spirit and in truth. By her prayers and ardent desires, she hastened the coming of the Messiah, but we adore him really present on our altars. We do not call him from afar, as Mary did. He is in our midst. He is with us always. Let us imitate the silence, the solitude, the hidden life of our Blessed Mother. Nowadays, we are content just to appear the thing we wish to attain and to enjoy at once. We don't know how to wait. We force the plant. It springs up quickly at first, but in a very little while it has exhausted itself, and so it dies. Let us then love the simple, hidden life, the obscure employments of our state in life. Let us find our happiness in being unknown. Let us hide the tiny flame of our lamp under a bushel, for the least breath of wind may extinguish it. Mary gave herself to God promptly, unreservedly, and forever. She gave him her mind, her heart, her liberty. She kept nothing back. Oh, let us give all to Jesus Eucharistic, who gives himself entirely to us. It is easy enough to say, my God, I give myself entirely to thee. But it is difficult to do so in reality. Let us rely on his grace and on our mother's intercession, and when opportunity offers, let us recall her perfect oblation of herself to God. Her example will be our strength and encouragement.
We must never separate Mary from Jesus. Saint Hyacinth of the Order of Friar Preachers, hearing that the Tartars were about to attack the city of Q, where he dwelt, ran to the convent church and secured the Holy Ciborium to save his divine master from the ungodliness of these barbarous infidels. As he was leaving the church, carrying his treasure away, a very large and heavy statue of Mary, which stood near the door, called him 3 times. Hyacinth, astonished, asked the Blessed Virgin what she wanted of him, and Mary answered thus, "My beloved Hyacinth, do you wish to save the Son from barbarous outrages and to abandon the Mother to their insults?" On the saints pleading his weakness as the excuse for not carrying so heavy a statue, Mary answered, "Oh, if thou hast a little love, it would be easy for thee to take me away. Pray to me, Son. He will make the burden light for thee.
My son.
Pray to my Son. He will make the burden light for me. The saint at once took the statue and carried it as easily as though it had been a little flower. The Blessed Sacrament on his breast and the statue of Mary in his arms, he crossed the enemy's lines unmolested, and directing his steps towards Cracovia, arrived there safely. Practice. Let us repeat incessantly, Mary and Jesus, Jesus and Mary. Aspiration. They found the child with Mary, his mother, and falling down, they adored him.
Thank you for joining us. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria.
Jesus, in the most blessed sacrament, we love you. May we love you evermore with the heart of Mary.